Click, click. We are live on YouTube. Welcome. I'm Arden Kaywin. And today in the Pro Singer Success Collective, we are talking about perfectionism. We are going to illuminate what perfectionism really is and the unintended effects that it has on your voice and your singing career and how to annihilate it. So first of all, I want to preface this by saying that I am a recovering perfectionist myself. Like, you're looking at a #1 recovering perfectionist. So I can speak to this so hardcore because it has been a journey of mine, and I've seen out how perfectionism plays out and has played out in my singing over the years, and what has happened as I have gotten rid of this really toxic way of relating to myself. So I'm curious, for those of you who are watching live, who would say, or even if you're watching in the recording, in the replay, tell me in the chat, who would say that you are a perfectionist when it comes to your voice and your singing? Say me in the chat. Tell me if you're a perfectionist, because this is where stuff gets real, right? And there's no shame in this, honestly. Like, we can't shift stuff that we're not aware of. So would you say you're a perfectionist when it comes to your singing? Like, who here struggles with that? Also, I'm curious, who here struggles with consistency issues in their singing? Tell me in the chat. Because so many singers tell me how frustrated they get because when they're in their own practice or just messing around, they sing amazing. They nail it the way they know they can. But when it counts, in an audition, in a performance, when people are listening, then no matter, it just never seems as good, or it might even be worse, like they totally choke. And there's a relationship between consistency and perfectionism, because in my experience, the reason why so many singers, otherwise talented singers, who when it counts are inconsistent, it usually points back to the same thing, which is perfectionism. And this idea that it has to be perfect, and I have to be perfect when it counts, or else I will fill in the blank, fail, be embarrassed, be judged, lose what I have, not get what I want. Like, that is where the mind starts to latch on to this perfectionism idea. And a singer, one of singers that I was talking to recently, she was venting to me at the pressure of having to sing perfectly. And it was killing her, that pressure. She was getting in her own way. She was showing up to performances and auditions and literally joking, not doing what she otherwise knows she can do. And what was happening was this pressure to be perfect. It was actually causing her to go to fewer and fewer auditions and not put herself out there as much. And she couldn't figure out what was going on. And the worst part was that this had probably been going on for her for years, but now it had gotten to the point where it was affecting her sound. It was affecting her connection to her audience. It was affecting her impact and being able to land those gigs, those auditions. And also, the worst part is it was causing her to lose her joy for this thing that she loves, for her singing, And she wrote me and she said that, and I want to read this to you because I think you might relate. She said, there is this internal and external pressure of perfection and flawlessness that is really sucking the joy out of singing for me right now. And so many people have this. I had it, you guys. That's why in my mid-20s, for a few years, I left the opera world. I did a 180. I went on and into the commercial world, the recording industry, the commercial pop world. And I took a massive career detour into pop music, which in certain respects was awesome and amazing. And I got to do some really cool things, but also wherever I went, I took myself with me. And so, the reason I left the opera world was because I felt that pressure to be perfect, that pressure to have a flawless sound. In the opera world, that is very much what teachers and conductors and directors and casting people aspire to, is this flawless, perfect sound. And, traditional conservatories, they will iron out everything that's interesting about your voice and leave you with perfectionism. And it was killing me. It was all these competing voices in my head about that flawlessness, that needing to be perfect. That was just like, I was not enjoying my gift anymore. I was not enjoying doing my job anymore. And so I took a detour into pop music because I thought that it would be better over there. But what I said a second ago remained true, which is wherever I went, I took myself with me. And I had internalized that perfectionism, that being so hard on myself, and I took it into the pop world. And so while I thought doing a 180 would help, it didn't, because I just took all that with me. And until I learned, how to detach from that, until I understood what was causing the perfectionism, right? Like, sometimes I wonder if you guys understand why the perfectionism is there in the first place. Like, do you guys know the purpose of perfectionism? Why your mind is latched onto that? It's because your mind has convinced you that if you are perfect, you won't fail. That if you're perfect, you'll land the gig. If you're perfect, your recording will get 1 million plays. If you're perfect, you'll get a record deal. If you're perfect, the list goes on and on. But the truth of the matter is, it's just a lie, because there's no such thing as perfection. What's perfect to you is different to every single person out there in the audience, on the audition panel, in the casting world, in the record label world. So you're trying to be perfect for all things, for all people, and it just can't be done, because what's perfect is different to every single person. You can't control that. But what happens is that you start convincing yourself that you're not ready because it's not perfect yet. And so then you delay and you don't go out for auditions, and you get into this habit of like never being confident enough, and always thinking that just another week, another month, another, and so either that happens and now you're wasting weeks, months, years, when the issue is not ready or not. The issue is that your cheese keeps moving. You keep moving the needle. Because what is perfection anyway? Because you have convinced yourself that the one thing you need to do to prevent yourself from failing, which is being perfect, the problem with that is you've told yourself you need to do something that is literally impossible. And so you never feel ready, because you're never going to feel perfect, because it doesn't exist. And so if you have to do something that doesn't exist in order to feel ready, then you're never going to feel ready, and you're never going to feel good enough. Or if you are that kind of perfectionist where it doesn't stop you from putting yourself out there, but it stops you from being able to tap into your body in a way that allows you to have the most efficient, most impactful sound. Because see, perfectionism is rooted in fear, which is really then rooted in over control. Okay. And so what I learned in my journey of perfectionism is that the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is that those who succeed have figured out how to let go. And a large part of that is letting go of the pressure of perfectionism, how to let go and just be in the moment with your body, how to let go and trust your technique, how to let go and connect to those emotions of whatever it is you're singing, and know that you will be safe. As we know, your body can't do what your brain is sabotaging. And so when the brain is attached to perfectionism, what happens in the body, right? You go into all of that over control, because you're trying to microtrack and manipulate and control for this perfect outcome. And what's happened is now you're in that overdoing, sometimes tension, sometimes strain, that makes it impossible for your body to actually hook into that most efficient, authentic, beautiful, vulnerable, impactful sound and performance. And not to mention the fact that it doesn't sound good, but it doesn't feel good either, because there's no joy in that. Without that connection, you don't make an impact on your audience. It's really hard to build a sustainable career if you're not connecting to and impacting those who are listening. But what's even worse is if you're not feeling that joy, if you're feeling that pressure of perfectionism all the time and never reaching it because you can't reach it, because there's no such thing as perfection, and always feeling less than because of it, then you're not going to keep going when it gets hard. You're not going to push past, to do those things, to take those risks, to put yourself out there and continue to do it if you're not enjoying that process. And perfectionism makes it really, really hard to enjoy that process. But once you learn to let go and trust, then it's a more joyful experience. Your voice hooks in with ease. Your voice hooks in consistently because your perfectionism is not sabotaging your body out of that. Audiences connect when you have that connection and that joy. And then these elite opportunities and the success that you want begins to open up for you. But look, a mental shift is powerful. It is in terms of understanding how this is all created. But without the step-by-step strategy for how to implement it, it's not really going to get you anywhere in any powerful way, right? Like, new ideas are amazing, but a mental shift doesn't really mean much without the tools and the structure to actually embody it in the moment of singing. And so that's why this is all about linking mind and body and the awareness with the technique in the moment of singing, so you can stay present, let go, and be in the joy at every audition, every performance, every single time that it counts. Can you guys imagine that? Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Where even in high pressure situations, you had a context from which to tap in and know how to deliver without stress, without the pressure of needing to be perfect. It can be done, you guys. We do it every day with the singers in our intensive training program. There's just no need to continue to be sidelined by the perfectionism that paralyzes you, that creates nerves, that blocks you from connecting to your audience in a way that really can make an impact on your voice and your career. Because guys, I don't want to sugarcoat it. And I only say this because I care. But so many of you are not singing as the highest and best version of yourself right now. You have not been living your best life because of it. You're at day jobs that you hate, side jobs that you hate, constantly chasing this passion and constantly feeling like you are coming up short. You question your talent. Oftentimes even creating self-loathing, even depression, because you have this talent. You know you have this gift that you were meant to share, and you're not doing it. And that is not your best life. You know it, and I know it. You are in a daily frustration and maybe even pain, watching other people with less ability live the dream that you know is in your heart. And so if you're ready to get on the other side of that, there's a very specific and methodical way that we use to teach the singers in our intensive training program and get them out of perfection and fear and into freedom and trust. And that exact same strategy and method is what I'm going to be teaching in the upcoming Mind-Body Integration Bootcamp. So this is February 7th, okay? It is a full day, not a full day, it's a full afternoon. So it's from 11 a.m. East Coast time to 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 o'clock East Coast time, 5 hours, full afternoon, where we're going to get into cracking the reboot code in terms of understanding the things that are actually sabotaging you in the moment of singing, actually what it creates in your body, and actually what we do to integrate that in the moment to shift into a much better mind-body connection for a much better sound, a much better impact. We're going to be talking about tapping into your unique sound, the things that we use and coach our singers in, so that you can be able to identify your unique sound, what you bring to a performance, finding your voice within a performance. So you're not just a good parrot of somebody else, but you know how to bring your special sauce. We're going to be doing hot seat coaching, where you're going to watch us take singers through the process of what it feels like to have a specific tool for your mind body used in a specific exercise or song in your voice, and how that completely shifts the outcome. And we're going to give you these tools step by step, A to Z, throughout the course of the bootcamp. So this is a mind-body integration bootcamp, because we're going to take these ideas and we're going to teach you how to integrate them in the moment of singing. So it's February 7th. Be there. Here's the link to save your spot. I'm going to put it in the comments on YouTube. So you can find it there, and I am going to put it in the comments in Facebook right now if you're watching on Facebook, so you can find it there. Mira and Gary, I feel you with the consistency issues and the perfectionism. Like, I really hope that I see you at the boot camp. I know you were at our mini launch, our mini reset training last week. You guys, my invitation to all of you is just don't spend another day in that negative feedback loop of perfection. Get help. Get help, because the longer you wait to deal with the mindset that's creating the perfectionism, the worse it gets. And that's why we're doing this boot camp, because I'm going to give you these actionable tools to break these patterns to help. Because if you don't deal with it, it'll either take you out or you'll take yourself out, because it's affecting your ability to succeed. And then you will quit and you will sacrifice your dreams and your passion. But either way, not dealing with the mindset of perfectionism, it lands you in the same place. Not singing to your potential, not living your passion and your purpose successfully as a singer. And I don't want that for you. So if the effects of perfectionism are sidelining you right now and you're done with this merry-go-round, you don't want to go another day or any further down the road with the tension in your body that it creates, feeling the overwhelm of everything I just said, and you are just not sure where to begin to fix this on your own. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm an expert at. That's what the Mind Body Integration Bootcamp on the 7th is here for. Okay. It is ridiculously priced, first of all. Okay. Like, it's a 5-hour interactive training. It's only $87. Okay. So 5 hours with me for $87, and all the nuances are going to be walked through. We're going to deep dive into how you create that psychological edge. And we're going to break down the mechanics of this. So when we're talking about consistency, we're going to demystify that for you, so you know exactly how to tap into your maximum potential for that repeatable outcome every time you sing. And how then that filters in and informs how you can master the art of that emotional connection to yourself, to your songs in performance, so that you're the one who they want to go see over and over again. You're the one who they want to hire. Because when you're connected to yourself emotionally, your audience cannot help but feel that. But for some, that perfectionism, it blocks that, okay? So through this, then, we're going to coach you on finding your most unapologetic and authentic sound so that you can stand out from the competition, and you do, okay? And we're going to implement all of this. Like I said, it's an implementation boot camp, so we're implementing it into your repertoire with specific activities and practice tools to work with even after the boot camp is done. So general admissions, $87, you guys. We have a VIP option too, which is next level. It gives you one-on-one hot seat coaching with me during the boot camp, an additional one-on-one private coaching with me the following week after the boot camp, and a small group studio class the following week after the boot camp. All of this to really condition and take to the next level everything that you learned inside the boot camp. And so, this isn't just surface level coaching, guys. It's really game changing, designed to dial in these things into your mind and body with me and a pretty cool group of your fellows, of other serious singers. Because for most of us, it's just really hard to see the potholes that we're falling into, especially when they're mindset potholes, because we're just too close to them. So instead of trying to figure it all out on your own, come to the boot camp. $87, you guys, is what most of you will spend this coming weekend on dinner and a movie with you and your kids, okay? Instead, take the time to give yourself the investment into learning these tools that will serve you for the rest of your singing and the rest of your career. So again, the link is in the chat. Register, and I will see you guys in the boot camp. Bye, everybody.